So in bad times, there's always opportunities. Always. Always opportunities. Back in 2008, people were losing their homes. Banks were going, had all this up. Probably a good time to invest in a home. Probably a great time to buy a home. Right now, 2025, you got all these repos out. Great time to buy a car. Not at a dealership, mind you, not a dealership car, a repo car. Go to a repo auction, get you that repo car, pay half right now kind of deal. I ain't going to the dealership, I'm paying half at the repo auction for the same dang thing, almost exact mileage, There's opportunities everywhere. I go to estate auctions. Somebody's moving out of their house. They want everything from the house gone. They just want to check. They don't want to do all the work. They don't want to play around for several months playing around with this and that and the other one. They just want to check. So they hire the auction company. Auction company comes in, does all the work, gets everything out, gets everything all staged up in there. They take a little cut. And then the people go in there, they buy it, they get the deals. And then they got to do all the work. And then meanwhile, the homeowner gets a check. Everybody wins kind of deal. But with more and more homes going up, there's more and more opportunities. Now, some of those might be bad things. Some of them might be just moving on. But it's a thing where every single time there's a bad, there's always an opportunity to be good. There's always an opportunity. Somebody gets kicked out of their apartment and they got to get rid of everything. They're thrown into the dumpster. It's going into the trash anyway. If you can go through there and be like, I'll give you like $300 for what you got. I mean, that's money that they ain't gonna have either way. So, and then meanwhile, you can turn around and you can resell it. Heck, you can pull the stuff out the dumpster if, you go to an apartment complex right now. I almost guarantee, I mean, not if it's like dangerous, but go to an apartment complex towards the end of the month, maybe like the 15th, take it back, maybe like the middle of the month or towards the end of the month, somewhere in there, there's stuff in the dumpsters. Somebody's moving out, somebody's getting kicked out. Somebody doesn't want to move their stuff. They just don't want to move all the stuff. Ain't nobody want to move like some Walmart 34-inch TV or something, or 34-inch, like a 84-inch TV. They don't want to move that. They want to take that across the country. They're going to throw that thing away. They're going to jump in their car. They're going to go across the country to wherever the heck they're going. But they ain't going to move that 84-inch TV across the country when it's like $300. It ain't worth the headache for the most part. And that thing will end up in the dumpster kind of deal. And maybe, just maybe, it works. So anytime there's something bad going on, there's usually something good. There's usually a flip side to it. There's always opportunities. And a company releases a horrible stock report and their stock tanks. That might be a great time to buy. Maybe you let that thing tank, it hits the bottom there, the very bottom, and then it starts to come back up. Maybe that's a great time to buy and invest in that stock. I'm not a whatever, but just making an example here. And maybe that's the only way you can buy that at a decreased price. Same thing with any kind of stable coin or any kind of coins or metals or anything like that. If there's a sudden drop because of something bad, whatever, that might be a great time to jump into something and be able to capitalize on that. And that's everything. And if the thing is you got to be patient. You got to be waiting for those things. So right now, homes went through the roof, and now they're on the way down. There's going to be tax liens. There's going to be repossessions. And that might mean somebody can get a home for like 10% of what it's actually worth if they jump on it, kind of deal. Same with vehicles. Like I said, repossession vehicles. You might be able to buy it for a percentage of what it's actually worth. And that's a smart way to do it, is jump on them. So anytime there's bad times, like I'm saying, 2008, there was opportunities everywhere. Everywhere during like 2008, 2009 to 2009 to like 2012. Everything was repossession and everybody was all over the place. It was a great time to buy investment stuff. Like housing and like condos and all that stuff. It was a great time to jump in all that because it did tank. Stuff did happen. You got to be ready for this stuff. And if you're not, even on a small scale, if you're just getting that free stuff out the dumpster, I mean, maybe they're throwing the TV in the dumpster, that's trash. But maybe there's something that isn't trash. Maybe there's some silverware that they bought, or that was a bad example. I'm trying to think of something to resell right off the top of my head. Oh, there you go. Maybe there's like some video game stuff. Video games are on the rise right now. Maybe there's some video game stuff that they're just throwing in the dumpster because they don't want to take it or whatever. You grab that thing and you do a little bit of work, and maybe you can sell it and make a couple grand off that stuff that they threw away because they don't want to do it. They don't want to deal with it, or they need to be out in 3 hours and they don't have a choice, you know. So maybe you potentially do offer them something, or maybe you just hang out, snatch stuff from the dumpster, and there you go. You can make some money that way. Even that's like bottom level, because everything's free in that case. But it's, if there's bad stuff, anytime bad stuff happens, there's always opportunity. And I'm not saying take advantage of people. That being said, they're in a bad place. Any support you can give them is help. Versus, I'm not going to help you at all. And take off, and what does that leave them? That leaves them throwing the stuff in the dumpster. And they get a goose egg out of the whole deal. So, anytime there's bad times, there's bad times. There's going to be more bad times. Maybe it's a great time right now. Maybe it's a great time right now to change careers. Get into, heck, if you're a repo person right now, if you're driving a tow truck, repossession cars, I imagine your business is good. You know? Stuff like that. If you're just that, as an example, you know, I imagine tow truck drivers are in demand right now because cars got to get repossessed left and right, kind of deal. I imagine that's a great career if you want to. There's no jobs. Become a tow truck driver. You got a good driver's license. You could probably become a tow truck driver. Stuff like that. Become a reseller. Resell stuff that you get out of the dumpsters. If you know every Friday, or not every Friday, like once a month, these dumpsters are going to be full and the stuff's just going to the landfill anyway. I am a big component of trying to keep stuff out of the landfill. We waste so much. I'm a big component of that. That's like a little thing I got in the back of my mind where I see somebody throwing something away and I'm like, do I need it? No. And I'm not a hoarder. But I look at that and I see money. And I'm like, how fast could I sell that? And if the response is pretty dang fast, I can sell this tomorrow. If this blow mode of a golden Mario is in the dumpster, I'm grabbing it because that's like probably a couple grand, if you know what I mean. A little like a 4-foot blow mode of a Mario figure, and it's the gold one from like a store display, and it's in the dumpster because somebody had it in their apartment and they overspent or they did something crazy and now they're flat broke. They're getting kicked out of the apartment. Man, I'm grabbing that. I'm grabbing that thing. I'm being safe about it. I'm not hurting myself, but I'm getting that thing because it's probably a couple grand. And that's going to be a more and more thing. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, you know? But it's a thing. So anytime there's bad times, there's opportunities. It's up to you what you do with that. So yeah, y'all have fun. Thanks.